Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll break down the key ideas from Alex Hormozi's on 100 million offers and explore how to create offers that deliver so much value. Saying no becomes incredibly difficult. So let's get started.
So if you price your services based on like what your competitors are charging, you are basically mathematically guaranteeing your own burnout.
Yeah, it's just a fast track to complete exhaustion.
Right, because most entrepreneurs think they're building this solid business, but they're actually just sitting at a rigged blackjack table, sweating it out, hoping for a lucky streak.
Exactly. And the house always wins in that scenario.
Which is why we're doing this deep dive today. You listening right now, whether you're trying to scale a side hustle or maybe consulting for major firms, or even if you're just fiercely curious about how the actual game of money is played, you probably have specific image of what it takes to succeed.
I mean, we're taught that business is just this relentless grind, that you have to undercut the competition, scrape together these tiny margins, and just endure until you catch a break.
Yeah, but looking at the stack of notes in front of us today, that entire premise is just entirely backwards.
It really is. When you actually analyze the behavioral psychology and the hard data behind purchasing decisions, racing to the bottom on price is just a deeply flawed model.
It totally is.
It assumes the market is a zero-sum game where the only variable a customer cares about is finding the absolute cheapest option, which, simply isn't true.
So we are pulling our insights today from $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi. And the mission for this deep dive is to explain how to completely shift the odds in your business.
Right, to stop gambling and start operating like the casino itself.
Exactly. We are decoding how to build what the author calls a grand slam offer. The goal here is to construct an offer so undeniably compelling that a prospect feels genuinely foolish saying no to it.
And what's wild about this source material is that it's not just like motivational fluff. It breaks down the exact psychological levers and the mathematical equations required to actually do this.
It really is a complete mental pivot. So let's start with that risk profile, because redefining what it actually means to take a business risk is sort of the foundation of this whole strategy.
Yeah, to understand how to win, you have to understand the nature of the risk involved.
Right, and the text uses this quote from Jeff Bezos that completely reframes how we should view potential upside. He talks about how in baseball, the outcomes are truncated.
Well, right, no matter how perfectly you connect with the pitch, a grand slam maxes out at 4 runs.
Exactly. The rules of the game put a hard ceiling on your success. But in business, a quote-unquote grand slam can score you 1,000 runs.
Oh.
The potential upside is practically infinite.
Which means taking calculated, bold bets is mathematically the smartest thing you can possibly do.
I mean, okay, let's unpack this. It's like a struggling business owner is sitting at that rigged blackjack table we mentioned, hoping for a lucky streak when they should really be trying to, buy the casino.
That's a perfect analogy. What's fascinating here is the difference between a gambler and a business owner. When you're an entrepreneur, you gamble every single day on rent, labor, ads.
Yeah, it's terrifying sometimes.
It is. But if you walk into a casino and play roulette, the odds are structurally fixed against you. You can play flawlessly, but over a long enough timeline, the house will drain your wallet because the math dictates it.
But in business, the odds aren't fixed. You can use skill to alter the probability of success.
Exactly. With a highly refined offer, you don't just beat the house, you become the house.
And the author provides his own track record to back this up, citing a 36-to-1 lifetime return on advertising spend.
Which is just staggering.
Right. That is a 3,600% return. Every single dollar put into the machine spits out $36.
If you had a magical ATM that did that, you would never stop feeding it dollar bills.
You just stand there all day. And that is the ultimate goal, creating a money model that essentially pays you to acquire new customers. When your offer is that profitable, you just completely remove the cash constraint on your business growth.
Because you're no longer limited by a strict marketing budget, the marketing pays for itself instantly. And the vehicle to achieve that level of return is the Grand Slam offer.
Which combines what? An attractive promotion, unmatchable value, premium pricing, and guarantee.
Yep, that's the formula. But building one requires a complete mental shift regarding how you price your value, because most people fall into the commodity problem.
Oh, this part is so common. They look at the market, see what everyone else is charging, and just price their offering right in the middle, or like a tiny bit below.
Which is a massive trap. Pricing based on competitors is a race to the bottom that drives margins to zero.
If you and the person across the street are selling the exact same apple, the only way you can win the customer is by selling your apple for a penny less. Then the competitor responds by dropping their price another penny.
And that's what economists call market efficiency. You just keep undercutting each other until neither of you is making a profit.
Just barely keeping the lights on. The consumer looks at the two apples, sees no difference in value, and simply makes a price-driven decision.
Right, so the alternative the text presents is the virtuous cycle of price. And it begins with a conscious decision to just raise your prices significantly.
Because raising prices increases your profit margins, which gives you the actual capital needed to hire better staff, build better systems, and deliver a superior experience.
Right, exactly. You literally cannot deliver a 5-star experience on a 1-star budget.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, though. And I want to offer some active pushback here.
Go for it.
Because I think a lot of people listening are probably skeptical. Wait, are we saying that if I charge someone more money for the exact same service, they will actually get better results just because it stings their wallet?
It does sound like snake oil at first. I completely agree. It's totally counterintuitive.
Right. Like, how does paying more magically improve the outcome?
Well, you have to look at the behavioral psychology behind it. The author references this famous blind wine taste test study. Researchers gave consumers the exact same wine to taste, but told them one bottle was cheap and the other was highly expensive.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah. And they preferred the expensive one.
Yeah. Consistently. They reported that the quote-unquote expensive wine tasted significantly better, and functional MRI scans of their brains showed more activity in the areas associated with pleasure.
That is wild. So a higher price literally equals higher perceived value in the brain. The perception alters the reality of the experience.
Precisely. And in a business context, especially with services where the client has to do some work like consulting or fitness coaching, the client's emotional investment is the biggest variable in their success.
Oh, I see. When a client pays a premium price, it hurts. They are heavily invested.
Exactly. Because they're invested, they pay closer attention, they follow your advice meticulously, and they actually do the hard work.
And because they do the work, they get better results, which lowers your cost to fulfill because you aren't dragging them across the finish line.
Right. Pricing it high creates a category of one where prospects make a value-driven decision, not a price-driven comparison.
Okay, but we've established that we must charge premium prices to survive. But you can't just take a bruised, rotten apple and slap a $10,000 price tag on it.
No, the market isn't stupid. You have to deliver disproportionate value.
Right, but value is one of those, like, frustratingly vague business buzzwords. How do we actually quantify that?
That's where the math behind the magic comes in. The text introduces the value equation, which breaks it down into 4 core drivers.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's a fraction. On the top, you have the dream outcome multiplied by the perceived likelihood of achievement.
And on the bottom?
On the bottom, the denominator, you have time delay multiplied by effort and sacrifice.
Got it. So the goal is to drive the top half of that equation as high as humanly possible, while ruthlessly forcing the bottom half, the time and effort, down towards zero.
Exactly. The top half is fairly straightforward. The dream outcome is the profound transformation they want. They don't want a drill, they want a hole in the wall.
And the perceived likelihood of achievement is their confidence that your specific product will actually deliver it.
Right. And many businesses obsess over that top half. They make bigger promises, try to build more trust. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, the real secret is the denominator.
The time delay and effort. This reminds me of the brilliant analogy from the text, comparing meditation to a Xanax pill.
Oh, yeah, that perfectly illustrates it.
Right, because both of these things promise the exact same. Dream outcome, relaxation, decreased anxiety, peace. But to get that through meditation, you have to sit still, fight your racing thoughts, carve out time every single day.
It requires massive effort and a huge time delay before you see real benefits.
Exactly. Now, contrast that with a Xanax pill. The effort required to swallow a pill is essentially zero. The time delay is maybe 15 minutes, and the perceived likelihood of achievement is near 100%.
Because it's a chemical reaction, and that's why people eagerly pay billions of dollars for pharmaceutical pills but struggle to meditate for free.
We want the result, but we completely despise the friction.
Exactly. The true limit of value is making the time delay and effort strictly zero. If you can sell a product where the customer's reality instantly transforms the moment their credit card is swiped, you have created infinite value.
Okay, that sounds amazing in theory. If I have a massive budget, I can engineer all that friction out. But what does this all mean for the absolute beginner?
That's the logical next question.
Right, because if I'm listening to this and I have zero budget,
Yeah.
how do I stack value without burying myself in fulfillment work and just going bankrupt?
So we move from theory to a concrete action plan. The text outlines a specific framework called the beginner's blueprint, which utilizes a method called trim and stack.
Trim and stack. Okay, how does that work?
It's a 5-step process. First, you identify the dream outcome. Second, you list every single problem or obstacle the customer faces to get there.
You literally write down everything that causes them friction.
Exactly. Third, you reframe all those problems into solutions. Fourth, you maximize the delivery vehicles, brainstorming every conceivable way to deliver those solutions.
And then step 5 is the actual trim and stack phase, right?
Yep. To do this correctly, you have to understand the sales to fulfillment continuum. Things that are incredibly easy to sell are often grueling to fulfill.
Like if I'm a fitness coach, moving in with a client and cooking all their meals would guarantee weight loss. That's
Yeah.
super easy to sell.
But an absolute nightmare to fulfill unless you are charging hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's completely unscalable.
So as a beginner, I have to ruthlessly curate that list. I trim the high-cost, low-value items.
Yes. You cross off flying to their house for personal training, and then you exclusively stack items that are low cost to you but high value to them.
So what does that look like practically?
Beginners should focus heavily on creating digital assets or partner bonuses. Checklists, digital meal prep templates, pre-recorded workout libraries.
Things that take time to build exactly once.
Right, but cost you absolutely nothing to distribute 1,000 times. This allows a broke entrepreneur to present an offer that looks incredibly expensive and expansive, but costs pennies to fulfill.
You're dramatically increasing the perceived value without increasing your operational friction.
You've constructed a highly profitable core offer. You've escaped the commodity trap, quantified value, and stacked scalable assets.
Okay, so we have this amazing core offer. The final step is taking that offer and wrapping it in psychological triggers, right?
Yes, so that the customer simply cannot reject it. You have to make saying no feel stupid.
And the text details how to structure this using scarcity, urgency, bonuses, and guarantees. Let's start with scarcity and urgency.
Well, this is about the uneven supply-demand curve. Limiting access naturally allows for premium pricing.
So even if I'm a consultant with a wide open calendar, I cap my one-on-one time. I say I'm only taking 3 clients this month to ensure quality.
Exactly. People inherently desire what is difficult to acquire. When you limit supply, you force action.
But inevitably, they might push back on the premium price. And the rule here for bonuses is absolute. You never, ever discount the core offer. Why is discounting so bad?
Because discounting trains your customers that your prices are arbitrary. It eats directly into your profit margin, destroying that virtuous cycle we talked about.
So instead of lowering the price, you add bonuses.
Yeah.
You introduce those digital assets we just talked about, one by one.
Right. You widen the price-to-value discrepancy until the customer's internal resistance snaps. The price stays the same, but the value just keeps stacking higher and higher.
I just marvel at the psychology here. You are overwhelming their hesitation with pure value. But the element that really shifts the dynamic is the guarantee.
This raises an important question because a lot of business owners are terrified of guarantees.
Yeah, they feel like it's just a boring refund policy, or they fear they're going to get scammed.
They fear losing money. But the guarantee isn't just a legal disclaimer, it's a weaponized statement of extreme confidence.
It shifts the burden of risk entirely off the buyer's shoulders and puts it on yours.
And the data in the source material proves that this is the right move. The text cites Jason Fladling's insight that simply changing a guarantee can 2x to 4x conversion rates.
Wait, really? 2 to 4 times the sales just from tweaking the guarantee?
Yes, because the biggest obstacle to buying isn't the price. It's the fear that it won't work and they'll look foolish. When you remove that risk, the massive influx of new sales heavily outweighs the few refunds you might process.
The math is just undeniably in your favor. If you get 50 new sales and only process 5 refunds from people gaming the system, you are still way ahead.
Exactly. You absorb a tiny amount of risk on the back end to eliminate all friction on the front end.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the through line of this deep dive, because this is truly a blueprint for escaping the grind. We learned to stop playing the casino's game by shifting our mindset to become the house.
Right, to escape the commodity trap with smart premium pricing.
And we learned to hack human psychology with the value equation, maximizing the dream outcome while ruthlessly minimizing the time and effort.
Then we talked about trimming and stacking our offers for beginners, using scalable digital assets.
And finally, wrapping them in undeniable enhancements like scarcity, bonuses, and ironclad guarantees. And I want to remind you directly, listening to this, whether you're a solo consultant, a freelance software dev, or running a brick-and-mortar store, these rules apply to literally everything you will ever sell.
The psychology of a purchase doesn't change based on your industry.
It really doesn't. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over on your own.
Ooh, a thought experiment. Let's hear it.
If a gun was to your head and you had to increase your prices by 10 times tomorrow morning, what is the exact combination of things you would have to add to your offer so that your customers actually thank you for the price hike?
That is a fantastic question. It forces you to stop thinking about 10% improvements and start thinking about exponential value creation.
Exactly. It forces you to start building your own casino. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Keep questioning the defaults, keep stacking value, and we'll catch you on the next one.
If you like this kind of video, consider to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.